All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we're going to talk about Saquon Barkley and him kind of, going at people on Twitter about, him leaving the Giants and going to the Eagles. So more of that has been happening. And it's just, as a Giant fan, it's like enough already. Who cares? Now, I'm taking a different stance on it as opposed to other Giant fans. Like other Giant fans are just really upset that Barkley left. And I said when he signed with the Eagles, yeah, it stings a little bit because it's a division rival. But they're the ones that gave him a big contract. He's familiar with the area. That's where he went. I don't think he didn't go to stick it to the Giants. Now, I think what Giant fans are doing by constantly engaging in these feuds with him on social media, you're adding more fuel to the fire. And Barkley's going to want to go out there and stick it to the Giants next year. Now, I think he does kind of want to do that because they didn't really offer him a contract and they prioritized paying the quarterback and Daniel Jones over him. So I think there is a little bit there. But I think you're only adding more fuel to the fire by constantly coming after him on social media. Because that first game at MetLife Stadium, when the Eagles come in to take on the Giants, it's Giant fans are going to be booing him like crazy. And he's going to want to go out there and rush for 200 yards and have multiple touchdowns. So this is what Barkley said on X, on Twitter, whatever you want to call it. It's been 2 months. LOL, no way you could still be this mad. I can't now. He said something I can't say, but can't even go to a basketball game. Because a fan said, you bailed on New York. Sow the wind. Sow the wind, reap the whirlwind. And he said, let me educate some of you fans here. I can't bail or become a traitor if I never got an offer to come back. So I went to the organization. I felt that was the best. And after already being here for a month, man, I'm excited to be an Eagle. Go Birds. Side note, that game was crazy. Oh, this is the basketball game. Never mind. He was talking about the Knicks 76ers game. So that was interesting. So he didn't even get an offer. That's what he's saying. Yeah. I never got an offer to come back. And if that's the case, I think it's a little disrespectful to Barkley. Just a little bit. But you could also look at it as, well, Joe Shane didn't draft him. Now, they like Saquon Barkley, but they didn't like him enough where they were going to, give him a big contract and bring him back. I think what the Giants did was a smart thing. Because Barkley, he was productive when he played, but he got hurt a lot. And he's getting older. Now, I think he's going to have a great year with the Eagles, with their offensive line and the offense that now... He's in a loaded offense now. And you know what? I think he deserves to go to a team that can, that can win. The Giants, yeah, they won in 2022. They won a playoff game, but, you got to the how good were the Giants really? Because then they got to the second round. They played the Eagles, and the Eagles stomped them. Now he's going to a team with a good offensive line, weapons all over the place, a team that's looking to, get back on track because, the collapse they had towards the end of the year. Yeah, I mean, how could you blame Barkley? They gave him a big contract. It just so happened that, unfortunately, it was within the Giants division. But that's just how it is in sports. When you have players that go from one team to their rival, yeah, you're going to have fans that are going to react to that. And many fans loved Saquon Barkley, was their favorite player. See his jersey all over the place. And then he says, all right, I'm going to go to the Eagles. And they're like, you betrayed us. I mean, that's why you had the whole thing with Tiki Barber on the radio. The little feud between him and Barkley. When Tiki was on his radio show saying, that he'd be dead to him if he went to the Eagles. And that's exactly what he did. And what's funny is, if the Cowboys had more cap space, they probably could have went after Saquon Barkley too, because they needed a running back. So it was either going to be the Eagles or the Texans were in the mix, which I think, if he went to the Texans, that would have been, I would have been completely okay with that. Yeah, I'm not okay with him going to the Eagles, but I'm not like one of these Giant fans that's hating on Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley went to a team that offered him a massive contract. Giants not only didn't offer him a big contract, they didn't offer him a contract, period, according to him. Now, this is what he's saying. So, yeah, it's tough. It's tough on Giant fans because you like the player, but it's just at this point, and he goes to a rival. But at this point, guys, come on. It's May 6th. We're getting into the summer, and then before you know it, the season's going to start. Get over it. Now, when you go, Giant fans, if you go to the game, you could boo him all you want. But, I mean, come on. The guy's just at a basketball game. A great game, by the way. And game 1 of the semifinals in the Eastern Conference starts tonight between the Knicks and the Pacers. I mean, the guy's just trying to live his life. But this is the negative of social media. Because it's just, we live in this world now where it's just, you see everything. Everything's on camera. Cameras all over the place, and people posting videos. Up there's Saquon at the Knicks game, at the Knicks 76ers game, and then you got all these Giant fans just flooding his, timeline, just like, oh yeah, you're a traitor, more of that. And he's like, it's been 2 months, and we're still not over it. The Giants are heading in the right direction, I think. Focus on your team. Because, yeah, the backfield is going to be different without him. Although Devin Singletary, they wasted no time. They gave him 26. That's your new running back. You got him. They drafted one. And on the defensive side of the ball, well, first of all, they did draft Malik Neighbors, arguably, if not the second best wide receiver in the draft. So you got him. You look at what they did on defense, and they traded for Brian Burns. The defensive line, something to really be looking forward to in 2024. Him getting paired up with Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence. Look towards that. Stop worrying about Barkley. He's not here anymore. He's gone. Focus on the team that you currently have. Now, is Barkley going to do well against the Giants? I anticipate he's going to have 2 very good games against the Giants. Because he's going to be running behind a good offensive line. And you know what? That's going to... I think a positive to it, it's also going to add more fuel to this... Well, I mean, you could say rivalry, but it's kind of been one-sided a lot recently. Really, when it comes to the Eagles and Dallas, it's been one-sided. I mean, how many times have I brought up on the show the last time the Giants have won in Philadelphia was 2013. That was the last time they won in Philadelphia. I was in middle school. At least last year, the final week of the season, I know they took their starters out, but when they were still in, the Giants really beat up on the Eagles. So, hopefully the Giants can turn it around, and they could at least be competitive. Like, they beat the Eagles. Can they go out there and finally beat Dallas? Because the last time they beat Dallas in Dallas, was 2016, which was Dak's rookie season. And I think the last time they beat Dallas was the COVID season, final week of the regular season, with Andy Dalton as the starting quarterback. I mean, look, I don't anticipate the Giants beating Dallas or beating the Eagles. I think right now, there's your 4 losses right there. But, again, we're only in May, so, already talking about, but it's just that I could see it, especially with Dallas, because they just cannot beat Dallas. But with the Eagles, it's going to be fun, these 2 games against Saquon Barkley, and I think Giant fans are really, adding more to this fire. Because Saquon Barkley is really going to want to go out there and just dominate against the Giants. I think he still had a little bit of it, but now I think he really does want to stick it to the Giants. Because the fans, all they do is they've been coming after him. Just for signing with another team. But who is that other team? The Philadelphia Eagles. So, I get it, but you know what? We got to move on now. Let's move on. Focus on focus on the team that they have right now. I know there's some issues at the quarterback position, and that's kind of a big deal because that's the biggest part of the offense. It's the most important position. But there's things that you have to be encouraged by as a Giant fan. And focusing on Saquon Barkley and him signing with the Eagles and him just trying to enjoy his life and go to a basketball game, which is supposed to be an innocent thing, he can't even do that without people coming after him on Twitter. And, yeah, I'm a Giant fan. And some Giant fans that watch this, they may be like, how could you defend him? I'm like, I get it. You're upset. But he's not here anymore. He's with a different team. That's why I'm defending him. Because I think the guy should also be able to, go out in public and not have to worry about people coming after him on social media for something that happened 2 months ago. And here's the other thing. They did win a playoff game. But what else did the Giants do during Barkley's tenure with the Giants? Other than that 1 year. What else did they do? Unfortunately for them, and this is not his fault. Giants did a lot of losing. There were a lot of bad years with Saquon Barkley and his time with the Giants. Not his fault. There's only so much he can do. But Giants really didn't do a lot of winning. So, yeah, you could get mad at him, you could get on him, but Saquon Barkley was a part of a lot of bad years. So, it's time to turn the page. Can we do that? I don't know. But people are always going to be mad, and when the Eagles play the Giants next season, yeah, I'm especially looking forward to the game at MetLife Stadium because it could be a Monday night game, could be a Thursday night game. It's not gonna be Sunday night. Giants are definitely banned from Sunday night football after the games that we saw, especially the 40-0 loss to Dallas. Yeah, they will not be making an appearance on Sunday night football. So, but we'll see. But let me know what you guys think about the whole Barkley situation. Again, I know it hurts that he went to a division rival, but again, he did that because they offered him a contract, and the Giants didn't. And even if the Giants did, they were not going to offer what the Eagles offered him. So, but yeah, that's just that's my thoughts on it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the whole thing with Barkley, and how do you guys see him perform with the Eagles? I mean, I think he's going to do well. So, but yeah, that is pretty much it for the show for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to tune in to our other shows as well. Like I said, you're going to see some new faces over the next couple of weeks. A soccer podcast, golf podcast, hockey podcast, women's sports podcast as well. So a lot of stuff coming up, or a lot of new faces that you'll be seeing. Make sure to tune into the other shows that I always bring up. Obviously, basketball playoffs are continuing, so make sure to tune into Nelson's show to get his perspective on stuff that's going on in the NBA playoffs. And of course, like I said, tune into the other shows as well. Give the other shows some love. So, with that is all the time that we have for today. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And until then, I'm Kenneth Grunfelder signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.